Welcome back to another Waters Ironworks video. We're going to continue our twisting series. Previously we've looked at square twists. Now we're going to be taking a look at flat twists. These are very common when you've got round stock and you want to put a twist in them. We can see an example in this coal rake where we've taken round stock and just kind of flattened it out. I'll show you a couple different versions of that depending on how flat we make it, how sharp we make these side edges, so we can see what it looks like. We will also take a look at twisting just flat bar, which is kind of the ultimate version of this flat twist. See what that looks like. And we'll also start with exploring a question I get a lot, which is, what happens if you just twist round bar and you don't do anything to it? The answer is, it twists, but you can't tell. And that's pretty unsatisfying to most people, so a lot of new blacksmiths like to try this out. We'll do a demo and show you what it actually looks like. So I'm gonna get this piece hot. We will start with that. You'll also notice for most of these, I'm gonna bend over a little shoulder here, so I've got something to grab onto as I twist it. We're gonna start off twisting round stock that has no edges on it. There's one full twist. Do a second here to really take a look at this. There's two. What the heck, we'll do one more. We're definitely deforming the bar a little bit. Let's brush that off. And so if we look at this closely, let me quench this and we'll toss it on the anvil so we can get a good shot of it. So there's maybe just a hint of a twist. What we really see with this demonstration though is that twists are defined by their edges. You need something that is moving in order to twist it. And if you don't have any edges, what you wind up with is, I mean, if you look, there's some milling lines on here. You can see that those twist around a little bit, but there's nothing that's really going to catch the eye. So if we want to do a twist, we need edges. That's what it's all about. So let's heat this up again. We're going to flatten this out a little bit, and then we'll twist it and see what it looks like once we've got a bit of an edge to it. So we're going to bring this to the anvil. Just do about an anvil's width. And so all I've done here, I'm going to actually flatten this end as well so that it sits in the vise better. All I've done is hammer on one side. Anvil is obviously hammering for me on the other side. Brought this down to maybe half its original thickness or so. We'll straighten it out. We're going to get this whole section hot again. We'll go to the vise and we'll twist it and we'll see what that looks like. One, go for 3 twists on this. 2, 3. Let me grab a wooden hammer. Once you've got a piece of metal twisted, you don't want to hit it on a metal surface with the metal hammer, or you're going to wind up messing up your twists. So if we need to straighten it out, this wooden hammer is a great way to go. A early apprentice out here made this hammer out of a knot in a tree. He was a good friend of mine, and so I always love using it. Let's quench this and bring it back to the anvil and take a look at it. There you go. So this is a pretty classic flat twist, flattened to about half the dimension of the original stock. And you can see we get a nice kind of gentle line here. There's a little bit of an edge there, but it's got a bit of a curve there in the middle, which is from the original parent stock. And I think it's a really attractive looking twist. Let's try varying it up a little bit. We're gonna do the same thing, but we are gonna come in and we're gonna hammer on these edges, the thin edges, and try and take this to more of a rectangle rather than kind of a fat rectangle. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing, flatten it out to about half its original thickness here. Now we're gonna come on the edge. We're gonna clean these edges up. Try and make them nice and sharp. That looks pretty good. So you can see, let's take one more pass here. Want to keep this flat, but now we've got nice sharp edges here. So we're kind of mixing in between a square twist and a round twist or a flat twist here. Into the vise we go. There's one. Two. Three. Pop it out. Straighten it a little bit. Into the quench tub. Now let's compare this one against the first one that we made. So here's number one, and here's the second one that we just made. So we can see by going in and hammering these edges a little squarer, we lose some of the gentleness of the curve that we have in this piece. And we've got something here which to me looks a lot more industrial or machined, almost like this is threading in a bolt, something like that, or a screw. We obviously had a bit of either uneven thickness or uneven heat here, so we got a tighter twist in the middle than we did the edges. But those sharp corners here and the flat is really going to give you a very different look, I think, than what we had with the first piece. So we're going to try one more piece. These we've hammered both to about half the original thickness. The next one, we're just going to put a real light light facing on it, not hammer it very thin at all, and take a look at how that aspect of it changes the overall look here. So some nice easy hammer blows here. I'm just going to take this real light here so you can see not making much of a change to it at all. We will come here and flatten last bit out so that we've got something to grab in the vise. There we go. So we've taken it maybe a quarter thinner instead of the half or 2/3 maybe we were doing before. Let's get this hot and see what it looks like. Go for the same 3 twists that we've been doing. 1, 2, 3. Let's pull this out. Looks pretty straight. Let's quench it. Hit it with the brush and bring it over to the anvil. So again, this was piece number 1, piece number 2, and now piece number 3. This one was shorter than this, right? So we are going to get wider twists just because this is a little bit shorter or longer on the first piece than on the third piece. But you can see how much it changes the look of this compared to this one, which was a much heavier set of hammer blows. We took it a lot thinner. So this will give you some idea as you're working with these flat twists, you know, what you might want them to look like. Play around with it. Even a very simple thing, flattening out a round bar a little bit, depending on exactly how you do it, you can make a lot of changes in what these twists are going to look like. We also saw that if you twist something that's round and doesn't have any edges, you can't tell that you've twisted it. That is a huge help if you're making something that needs to be in the same alignment. If you're out of alignment and you've got a section of round bar in there, or round stock, you can twist it and that twist will be invisible. I did say that we would take a look at twisting a piece of flat stock. Let me go find a piece of flat stock and we'll twist that and see what that looks like as well. It's in there securely. Grab it with a twisting wrench. Big advantage of a twisting wrench is you put a lot less sideways motions into it. Pretty aggressive twist there. Straighten this out a little bit here. Let's quench this and take it over to the anvil. So there we go. Flat stock twisted. Right, this is kind of the extreme of what we did here for number 2, where you've got these sharp corners going along it and then wide flats tracing on the other sides. Very decorative, very nice element. I think probably the number of twists I did here was a couple too many, maybe one too many. What'll happen with this wide flat stock is, as you twist it and you keep twisting it tighter and tighter, it starts developing kinks, and any unevenness that you get will start to show up. So this is one that you probably don't want to over twist, or you're going to be unhappy with the results. I think it looks better down here where it's a little less twisted than it does here, but maybe this is your style and what you like. So there we go. 4 different twists, 3 of them made out of round stock, 1 of them made out of flat bar, all essentially the same thing, this flat style of twist. Hopefully you guys find this a useful video and a way to look at a number of twists in one go. If you haven't seen my square twist videos, take a look at those, and we'll be continuing with some more advanced twists in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't done that already, and we'll see you again soon. Happy forging.